the All-Star teams got released, so we want to talk about that a little bit. So I have a little spiel. So finally, the All-Star teams being revealed a few days ago. I want you to go through each of the 4 divisional rosters and tell me one player you believe was most snubbed. And as well, today, the last man in vote, people were named, so I'm just going to announce those. For the Atlantic Division, it was Steven Stamkos. For the Central, Nazem Kadri, who the fact that he wasn't on the regular team or initially,
well, we can talk about that.
It's ridiculous, but nonetheless, he ended up getting in by a fan vote. The NHL had their bacon saved. From the Pacific, they went with Troy Terry of the Anaheim Ducks. And from the Metro, they went with Mika Zibanejad. However, he went out of it, or he decided not to participate due to personal reasons. So Jake Guentzel took his place. So overall, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on the selections? And I want you to name one player per team that you still think by the end of it was snubbed.
Okay.
Evan, you ready to go?
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
If you have one ready, I want to make
sure. Do you guys want to go team by team again, or?
Yeah, let's go team by team.
Yeah.
Oh, like every NHL team or every
no,
division?
No.
Buddy,
4 teams. All the 4 teams.
Buddy, I meant let's all do the I'll start off with the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, well, we'll start with the Atlantic.
I think we should all I think I speak for everyone when we all say that the one player per team is stupid. Yeah. And I think it's something that I seriously think the NHL is going to look into this after, because I just don't think it's fair for a guy like Brad Marchand, a guy like Aaron Ekblad. So now that I'm talking about the Atlantic Division, I really think that needs to be a topic of discussion, because honest to God, Buffalo is so bad. The fact that they even are worthy of an all-star is just pathetic. And then if you look at Aaron Ekblad, and I know Florida and all that, he's so good. Like even Huberdeau and Ekblad carried that offense when Barkov was out for those 10 to 15 games. So I think he's someone. I'll go defense and offense. I'll say defensively, Aaron Ekblad. I'll say offensively, Brad Marchand. But I have the respect there for Steven Stamkos that he has had a great year, given all the cluster that's been going on in Tampa with the COVID and all that and injuries. So those are my 2 defensively and offensively.
Yeah, and I think both are very valid. The fact that neither of those are on the team is simply ridiculous. And I think talking about the fact that there's one per team, I honestly don't think the NHL is going to change it, because it's a money-making thing. And while I hate it, I understand it.
You know what's more of a money-making thing? Having Brad Marchand instead of Nick Suzuki.
Having the best talent on the ice, I agree with you. But the businessmen in the NHL, they are going to look at it like, nope.
I just think this was the worst year. This was honestly, I liked it at first, but I think this is the worst year of the All-Star game, because
there's so many snubs. It's absurd.
You gotta do it like the NBA, man. The NBA does it where the All-Star teams are the fucking All-Stars, and then the skills contest is where you bring one from every team. Like I think Clayton Keller can play in the skill or the stick handling one. I think Phil Kessel, he could probably go in the accuracy challenge.
Yeah, if
we need Arizona guys.
Skater,
Darlene could probably do fastest skater. Ilya Mikheyev should do fastest skater. Why not? Why not?
McDavid.
You bring up a valid point there. Like, I actually do think, like, obviously they're not going to listen to this, but I do think that they need to separate, like, and then maybe just say, like, you guys are here for the skills, and then you guys are here for the All-Star game, because ideally the more moneymaker is the All-Star game itself.
Yeah,
although the skills contest is fun. I love.
No, it is fun. I'm just saying, like,
as a fan, I like the skills contest more. But the ideal situation is that they want the All-Star game to be this big thing. It's not right now because it's not the best players on display.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I think that's enough there. Moving on to the Metropolitan Division. Sorry, we didn't go through every play. Mario, what do you think about the Atlantic team? Who do you think is your biggest snubs?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to overlap a lot with our answers. I think I'm going to go Leafs, Nylander. I think he.
Hey,
I think, like, guys, let's do try. Like, maybe we can try to like each have different answers.
I'm wearing it too.
There we go.
I did handy for
the reason why I say it is just because he ranked, but he wasn't even on the ballot. Let's be quite honest here. You weren't even able to vote for him, or the league wasn't even able to vote for him, nor was he a last man in. I kind of get why he wasn't the last man in, because Steven Stamkos is right in front of you, but you have to be on the ballot at least. Like, if John Tavares was voted as a last man in, I would not feel as great if Nylander wasn't there. So I think Nylander should have been on the ballot, simply because when it happened, he was the team leader in scoring, points, whatever you want to look at it. Right now, he's second in the. I'm writing an article on it, so I got all the information up for me. But no, right now he's second on the Leafs in scoring, and I would have loved to see him there. I think he deserved it. I think he was the best Leaf for the majority of the season. I can't give you a defenseman. I think Aaron Ekblad's the blue chip one that you can go to. But no, I'll stick with the forward. I think Nylander should be on that team. And it's just saying that they do it this way with the one per player, but that's the way the business operates in the National Hockey League.
Mm-hmm. And Adam, let's hear from you.
Yeah. Who did you say on offense, Evan?
On offense, I said Brad Marchand.
I'm struggling to find one that isn't Marchand.
Exactly.
Okay,
well, guys, like if we can't, I didn't.
It's gonna be Marchand, but I did have another guy in mind. Sasha Barkov and Braden Point. I think they've both been fantastic this season.
Yeah.
Braden Point's point a game, and Barkov's Barkov.
Yeah, I think that's right. I agree with you. We shouldn't say the same players. I just want to add a point onto the reason why it's stupid that Marchand isn't on the team, because why would you take, like, why did they even take Bergeron when Marchand just has more points than
Yeah, how did Bergeron
I don't get the mindset there. Like, it's not even the fact that, oh, it's because one per team. Like, no, they chose someone from Boston. They just chose the wrong players.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. How did that happen?
Like,
definitely declined it.
Jared,
I wonder
Jared,
if they
that actually
like,
just clicked in my brain. Like that actually just clicked in my brain.
Well,
that like
shout it to my TikTok. I literally had a whole
I watched your video, but I forgot. I was like, oh my God, like there's. Because I don't even think Bergeron's the second best guy on that line.
And he's not having. He's not
even having a great year.
No, he's not having a bad season, but he's not having a Brad Marchand season. Like,
yeah, Marchand leads the team in goals, assists, and points. Like,
it's not even a reason that it's like, oh, they had to take one from every team. No, they took someone from Boston. Yeah. They literally chose the wrong guy. So
I'm guessing he said no. Hey, I think that's probably what happened. They probably asked him, and he probably said no.
It is a possibility.
There's no reason. And he wasn't even on the last man ballot. He wasn't on the last man.
I think
it was McAvoy. That's probably it.
Because Marchand also has young children as well. That could be a concern. Because before you can, the NHL did say that if you reject it, like for personal reasons, that's fine. But like you can't get in and then say no
because you get suspended.
Yeah, because you get suspended.
How fun is that?
So more vacation. Go figure.
So I do think that Adamo brings up a good point in saying it.
Actually, I did think of one player that I also mentioned, Lucas Raymond. I think Lucas Raymond should have gotten in. He currently leads all rookies in points. I know they selected Dylan Larkin, who sure he has a few more points.
He does.
But it's very close. At least last time I checked, I think Larkin leads in the Detroit point race by like 2. Mm-hmm. When it's that close, give it to the rookie. Like Dylan Larkin's gone to the event before. I give it to the rookie. That's what I would say. Sure. But now moving on to the Metro. We'll start with Mario on this one. Kind of, who do you think is your biggest snub? And I agree. Let's do one forward, one defenseman.
Man, you really put me on the spot. I don't know much about the Metro for like their players that got snubbed. If you give me like 5 minutes, I can definitely.
I got a guy.
If you guys have, I'm not even gonna pick a name. I'm just gonna say who has an answer for me.
Okay, go Adamo.
I got 2 forward names. I'll say the first one. Actually, should I just say one because it might steal from you guys?
Say one.
Just say one.
Hold on. I gotta look up his stats because the second I don't know which one to say here. Okay, I could say it. Sidney Crosby. He's kind of good. I think he's snubbed. Point a game.
How many games has he played?
26.
Okay, I think that might be.
I think that's a snub.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like I was more obviously Guentzel ended up getting in because of
it should have been Guentzel.
But I definitely was more mad that Guentzel wasn't in than Crosby. But it's your answer, so
I will like.
Well, Guentzel's in technically.
Yeah, he got in, but he wasn't selected. I'm still kind of mad about it, even though he was
I just think it's I'm not mad about it because Tristan Jarry has been incredible, and when you're just looking from a goaltending standpoint, if they actually took out Jarry, put in Guentzel, took out Kreider, and put in Shesterkin, I think that would have been better.
Wait, Shesterkin's not an all-star?
No, he is not an all-star.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he's gonna win the Vezina. League.
Look, here's
the
thing.
NHL's gonna get so embarrassed by the end.
Here's the thing.
Brad Marchand wins the Hart.
With the All-Star game, though, like as much as it is like another thing to add to your resume, like a lot of guys rather like prefer the break. And I don't know if if Igor Shesterkin being a goaltender, he's been on a tear. Like
was he on the last man in ballot? No, there was no goalies.
There was no goalies. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of these guys could have just said like
he had to have said no.
Because with goaltenders, it's difficult because they want to stay fresh, and like God forbid something goes horribly wrong at the All-Star game. Like, how many times do we hear guys say no? So in terms, I disagree with Crosby. I think the injury plays a factor into voting. And Jake Guentzel has, credit to him, after not making it, after being an All-Star, I believe it was last year, and then having that gruesome knee injury, he wasn't able to attend. Now he is able, or maybe this was 2 years ago. I apologize, because was there an All-Star game last year?
No, I don't think there was.
No,
there wasn't.
But
okay,
regardless,
I apologize. 2 years ago, he had that gruesome knee injury that took him out of being an All-Star, and I felt really bad. So I'm happy he's in it now.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the rest of this roster, just in terms of grabbing one from each team.
Do you want me to maybe give my second guy? Because Crosby got shit on. I don't know if you're stalling.
First we'll hear on what Mario's thoughts are, and then we'll go.
Oh, you got a guy? Yeah, go.
Do I have a guy? I think we're just all similar, man. It's so hard.
I have a defenseman. I have John Carlson. Why wasn't John Carlson a defenseman?
He's pretty good.
Currently, I believe he's 6th in defensive scoring. He's having a really good year. The main one, of course, that I'm mad about is Igor Shesterkin. Well, I understand the reason is because they needed someone from Pittsburgh. Because, like, Jari's the only Penguin selected.
Yeah.
Of course, other than Guentzel ended up getting in. But just, like, I think they so easily – I would have rather Shesterkin there as opposed to Jari. As much as Jari's having a good season, and credit to him, I think there was other Penguins they could have taken. They didn't need to take Jari.
No, but I'm saying
he had to have said no.
We could be playing the possibility that he said no. Because how many
he
times
probably said no.
How many times, and Shesterkin, credit to him, like this is a career year for him. He doesn't want it to be derailed by attending an All-Star game. He knows he's an All-Star. His market value knows that he's an All-Star.
I'd win the Vezina.
or the Vezina.
But it's
like having All-Star game to your resume doesn't mean
shit.
No, it doesn't obviously, but it's still. I think it just it kind of looks bad on the league not selecting.
But it could just be him.
It could be. Like we don't know. We're speculating.
Yeah, we're speculating.
Well, you look at the roster, Carolina and Pittsburgh. It's Anderson and Jari. They both have other players there. So it wasn't like we need a player from this guy, so we stuck their goalie in. It was they actively left him out because Aho and Guentzel are on the roster.
Yeah.
But Guentzel got in last minute. At the date the initial rosters were selected, Jari was the only.
Okay, well, they picked Anderson.
Got it because of last minute.
Anderson's in over.
Anderson has Aho as well, but also Anderson's like one of the top goalies in wins, so he I think deserves.
And then wait, Damo, you were saying that you were saying
not over Shesterkin.
Do you want me to give my second guy?
Yeah,
actually,
for sure.
I have 2 other guys now. I'm just looking at the thing. Okay. I'll go with the guy I had in mind. Andrei Hutchinkov. Probably he's not a point a game guy, but he's still an integral part to the Carolina Hurricanes' success this season, being on that first line with Aho. So I'll go with him.
Okay.
Okay, good answer. Let's move on to the Central Division. And does anyone have an answer?
Yeah, I got an answer.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, let's hear it.
First of all, I don't think Joe Pavelski was the choice. I understand the point totals and all that. I just think Jason Robertson, I really give credit to him. I think he deserved it. And if you want to keep Joe Pavelski, then fuck off with Clayton Keller. Like that's this whole issue that we're having with the one per team. Other than that, I mean, with Nazem Kadri finally making it in, I really have no problem with this roster. I want to give a shout out to Jordan Kyrou, who
an issue.
Oh, okay. You have an issue. All right.
Hey, you want to talk, and this is actually a big issue. I think it probably just slipped your head. If you want to.
Oh. Well, I guess like O'Reilly could have been. Are you thinking
Roman Josi is my big one, but
guys, are we serious? Is he on the roster? Hold on, he might be on the roster, and I'm just missing it.
Well, there's only one Blues player, so
no, it's not the Blue guys. Mikko Rantanen. He's fourth in league scoring.
That I do have a problem with. Nathan McKinnon should not be the captain. I don't care that he's the big name player. That is a problem.
Let me just finish one second. And then
go.
I was just saying, Kyrou last year had that streak where he was hot. Like he had like 12 points in 8 games, and then he very much died down. And I mean, just credit to him this year for being consistent, having a great year. And I think all the best deserved to be an all-star. Yeah, I guess Jared, you can take. I loved hearing your TikTok video about it at Jared Rotenberg. It was great. I loved your insight on why Nathan McKinnon shouldn't have been an All-Star. So why don't you?
Yeah.
Hey Jared, what is your TikTok? Can you give the @?
Oh,
I'd love to follow.
It's just all lowercase, no spaces, just Jared Rotenberg, JaredRotenberg. Follow it up. TikTok takeover. You've heard of Twitter takeover. Get ready for TikTok takeover. But whatever. What I was gonna say is I don't like that Nathan McKinnon's the captain. I think sure he's the biggest name, but in it something like this, and I get like it's fan vote. It's
how do they? Is it whoever gets the most votes in that?
I think it's fan related. So of course they're gonna vote Nathan McKinnon. He's the big name on the Avalanche, but I think it's just dumb. I mean, it ends up being the same. Who would you have
given it to?
I'm trying to think. It ends up being the same people every year. I honestly think I'd go with Kaprizov. I think like just the person who's playing probably the best in that division, or Rantanen. Like there's a bunch of names that shouldn't have been.
Rantanen wasn't even an All-Star, which I don't think we're making a big enough deal about. You know, we bitched and complained that Kadri didn't get in, and Rantanen's not even on the last minute.
You gotta like remember though, like Colorado is a very, very, very talented team.
So wagon.
Like of course they're gonna have guys that are like not considered, but it doesn't matter because we know how good they are. Like,
obviously, yeah. I don't care about the
we're talking about the team.
No, yeah, I get it. I'm just, but Kadri also has more points than Mikko Rantanen.
Mikko Rantanen is also on pace for 114 points.
I know, but I'm saying Kadri.
Oh, Kadri's like even better. I get that, but like it's still like if we're just talking snub, it's ridiculous that this guy could. He's putting up heart numbers.
It's unfair that Clayton Keller gets to go to Vegas.
Second time, by the way.
Yeah, it's unfair that Clayton Keller gets to go to Vegas and Mikko Rantanen does not. I just personally think a guy of that stature really does not give a rat's ass.
They don't, but I mean,
it's still nice to have. It's still nice to have.
No, but we're talking about who is snubbed.
Yes.
I don't like that McKinnon's the captain, and I have all the respect for McKinnon.
I feel like it should be McCarr. I don't know. I think the way they
it could have been. It shouldn't have been McKinnon. Like, there's a bunch of names you could put in the mix that are doing very well in the Central.
Yeah, but I mean, that's nothing that they.
It's so, and I get it. It's a fan vote thing. People are fans of Nathan McKinnon, but it's just kind of annoying that they did it as a fan vote. Because it ends up being the same person every year. Like McDavid's been the captain of the Pacific like 3 years in a row. Even Matthews, like sure, great for him. I'm happy he won it. But when I was doing my fan vote, I didn't vote for Matthews. He's
as captain.
Who'd you vote for?
I honestly don't remember, but it wasn't him. I think I went for.
I
typed in Nylander.
Attaboy.
Because Nylander wasn't even on the voting thing.
So stupid.
Like Matthews, he's been the captain before. I think that's as much as sure it's not something they care about.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool to do once in your career. Oh, I was the captain of an all-star team. Let other people do it. Even for the Pacific, I did Draisaitl over McDavid because McDavid's done it a million times.
I also kind of want to see them do a draft. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the NBA's doing it? Do you imagine 4 teams though, and you do it like a fantasy snake order draft?
Like, that would be awesome. Sure.
I think that'd be sick.
There's so many more ways to get eyes, and you watch the draft. Like they did it a few years ago.
I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you guys. Would you keep it the same way, like how it used? Like, would you keep it the way where like it's where it's 4 teams, 3-on-3, and let's say you have 4 set captains, and they can just pick anyone from anywhere, but they still have to have like. But here's like the thing: they still have to have like the however many forwards it is, like the 2 defensemen and the 2 goalies.
Yeah. I think you'd have to.
Yeah, I think you select an all-star team rather than.
I think that would be a great marketing value.
Yeah, awesome. I think a ton of people would tune in to watch that. I think you do it more. You choose players per team, like they'd announce just rather than the Atlantic Division team, they'd announce like a 32 team. Yeah. Like this is their team's logo. These are the 1 or the 2 players on each team that are selected out of the mix that you are eligible for this fantasy draft. I think that would be so cool.
One other point, the way that Zoom is operating right now, I mean, it would be so accessible just to have have the 4 captains, like how we're sitting right here, and then just say, this is who I'm picking. And then it could literally be that simple. Yeah, and then just air it.
They'd have banter back and forth with like, that's what I like about the All-Star game. I don't care about the skills and whatever, or the skills I like. I don't like watching the actual game. But what I like is hearing players mic'd up and them talking.
Yeah.
Hear people that don't know interact.
Let me see Austin Matthews, shake ping pong balls out of his ass again. That was hilarious.
Funny. Do funny media things, and I think there's so much room for kind of a funny.
For sure. Well, let's see what they have.
Like, yeah, like that would be awesome. And the NBA does it. And obviously, in
it's
general,
awesome.
the NBA is just a
It's
bigger
so
market.
cool.
It's
So,
so
like,
good. God, imagine like
there's a reason they're doing it right.
yeah.
Like,
imagine guys like Bieksa, or maybe not Bieksa, like the good guys on it. Imagine fucking Bar Down hosting.
No. You know who needs to host the All-Star draft selection?
Who?
These 4 guys need to do it. Kevin Bieksa, Paul Bissonnette needs to be
It's
on
nasty.
that.
That'd be good.
Dude, you put Biz there, that would be fucking insane.
I think Gretzky'd be cool.
I was gonna say Gretzky is the
Yeah,
third.
I love seeing like a guy like Biz next to a guy like Gretzky. Just them like.
And you know who the 4th one should be from Bar Down?
Jesse.
Yes, Jesse
awesome.
Pollock. Dude,
RTA's very own.
he
That'd
would
be
be. I feel like those 4 on a panel doing the All-Star would just be the coolest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I completely agree.
You wanna-
before we move on to the Pacific, does anyone have any more snubs? One I mentioned was Roman Josi. He's currently 2nd place in defensive scoring. The fact that he wasn't selected, of course, Soros is the goalie, so he deserved to be there. But the fact that they should have had another Nashville Predator.
Could I give kudos to one?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm so happy for Kyle Connor, man. He should be an all-star every year. And the fact that he's fun, I think he's one of the most underrated goal scorers in the NHL. I mean, like the production isn't there, but I think he has like one of the best shots in the NHL. I hope he does the accuracy shooting contest. But yeah, I'm so happy for him because I'm sick and tired of it being Hellebuck. I was always saying Kyle Connor needs to be recognized, and he's finally getting that.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I'm very happy. Like, out of the Winnipeg Jets, when I was even making my predictions, before,
I
like,
picked
it was a no-brainer in my opinion. Like, Connor's playing so well, he absolutely deserves to be recognized.
Could you imagine Kyle Connor in Boston instead of DeBrusque?
3 picks.
Oh my God!
With David Krejci.
With David Krejci
defining, but
with Krejci as your center, he would have scored 45 a year. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Boston. Okay, before we move on to the Pacific, does anyone have any last-minute people to shout out, or are we ready to move over to the Pacific Division?
Roll.
No, we're good.
Okay, roll Pacific Division. What's the first name that comes to your guys' mind that was snubbed? Because this division especially, there are a lot. Anyone have any names?
I got one. You guys talk about growing the game, media stuff, all that jazz, and the guy they leave out is probably my favorite player this year.
Yes.
Trevor Zegras, man. How do you do an all-star game and an all-star festivities, all that jazz without this guy in there? Like it's ridiculous. Like you can bring up so much audience, and I wouldn't like, I don't know, this might sound really absurd, but what if they were to ever make him a captain? Like how would that, like if they did that draft thing that you were talking about? How cool would it be if Trevor Zegras is your captain and you're inviting guys like McKinnon?
Wait, you said the captain of
not McKinnon. Like imagine that. It's obviously
dude, I thought you were talking about the captain at the docks. I was like,
no.
I was like, no chance.
I think that'd be great. And like I was thinking as Jared was talking, I think the issue is like Connor McDavid would be a captain. I could imagine Connor McDavid going up there, also always up with my first pick, I'm taking Austin Matthews. He scores goals. And then Connor McDavid, my first pick, Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, Connor McDavid is probably one of the most boring.
So fucking boring. I'd hate to see him as captain.
I would love Zegras. Like,
but I love that idea. Yeah. Zegras is like captain.
And especially for Zegras, the fact that he's a young kid, that he grew up watching these guys. Now it's like, hey, I've never been in a room with this guy, Alexander. Like he has so much energy, and it's just
he gets an AARP.
Him especially because he obviously like he's a young kid just getting into the league now, and he would eat an event like the All-Star game up. Like he'd love that, just being around all these superstar guys that he doesn't normally get.
We'd see at least 4 Michigan attempts.
Oh, like he'd have so much fun with it. And it's like the superstars, like over, you'd be like, who the fuck is this kid? Like just coming in, like it would be just so much fun. And instead, we just have the same guys every year, and it's just like, sure, those are the All-Stars, but.
We kind of cut you off there. Did you have anyone?
There was no one. I just thought like Trevor Zegras could have gone.
No, I didn't know if you had anyone else.
No, he could have gone to this game. Like why isn't Goudreau swapped out with Markstrom? You throw Markstrom on the goaltending, and your Anaheim Ducks pick is Zegras instead of Gibson.
I mean that's just
They also have Troy Terry.
Well, now with the last man in vote, they have Troy Terry as well.
I think Terry deserved it. I really do.
You can't go on a 16-game streak and not get in.
But from a media perspective, Zegers, you had to have him at the All-Star game.
I just think
he's just not good enough. That's the issue.
I think it would have been too disrespectful against Troy Terry.
I understand that, but second place in rookie scoring, but no one cares about his points.
Yeah.
It's personality-wise, like, he was made for an event like this. He would bring so many eyes. He'd do so much funny shit with the media. Like, him pulling up to what event was it where he had Baby Yoda?
The Star Wars, he's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was Anaheim Ducks Star Wars night, and he pulls up just with shades on and Baby Yoda and like a baby carrier, and like it's just so funny. Like, he's just such a funny guy. He needed to be at this All-Star game. Like we were actually, I said it word for word on my TikTok. We were robbed of seeing Trevor Zegers at this year's All-Star game and growing the game. Like Mario said, I mean, he does things that no one else does. He attempted that he got that Michigan pass. Like he just. Talk about growing the game. I don't care what John Tortorella says. Like, that is how you grow the game.
Yeah.
But in general, what's another name that you guys think was snubbed off this season?
I was watching your video, and you were talking about Alex switching out Pietrangelo for Shea Theodore. And the one, I love Shea Theodore. I have him and Stone as my 1-2 punch in fantasy for the past couple of years now. And I just see the one issue is that Shea Theodore hasn't been healthy. And Alex Pietrangelo has really had to step up, and he has. And although the point total isn't there, the game that he played against Toronto was probably his best game as a Vegas Golden Knight this season. And it could be like throughout the whole year, throughout his career in Vegas. I just think he absolutely deserved it. I have no problem with Kempe just because I want him traded. So I really want that.
More value.
Yeah. And other than that, Jordan Eberly, the picture looks disappointing the picture looks disappointing on the IG, and I'm very disappointed because I rather have a happy Trevor Zegras than a sad, shallow Jordan Eberly. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, for starters about Vegas, what I said in my video is I'm very much understanding why they selected, it was Mark Stone and Alex Pietrangelo are the two they selected. I mean, one's the captain, one's the assistant. Those are the two biggest names on the team. I understand, especially in a hometown event, you had to take those guys. However, I wanted to give credit, especially the one I wanted to give big credit to was Chandler Stevenson, who the big story with Vegas, the big story with Vegas is the fact that all their superstars were injured for a lot of the year, and he stepped up big time when he had to. He currently leads the team in points. I think it would have been really cool if they found a way to get in there because he deserved to be kind of honored by the Vegas crowd. Like, he deserves so much credit for how he did with that group. And the fact that he isn't there, got no recognition, it's a little bit unfortunate.
Well, and first of all, like, haven't we always seen that common thread where, like, the home team at least has 3?
Yeah, they have so many more.
Like, the fact that Chandler Stevenson wasn't even considered for last man is it's honestly sickening to me because I think Chandler Stevenson is so much better than Troy Terry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry. I should rephrase that. He's been a lot more impactful to his team.
That's more
given the situation.
He's been the reason that
I needed to rephrase that. Yeah. I mean, he's the reason why Vegas is still able to be in first place given the situation this year.
That's impact over skill. He's definitely been more
for sure.
And I just think skill. Troy Terry's come on.
But even awesome. Vegas, they always give out 3. Like, it's just that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I don't know if they changed anything voting wise, but I was gonna say I remember in particular when it was in San Jose, and I remember there was there was 3. They had Pavelski, Carlson, Burns. In Tampa Bay, they had 5. Yeah, there's been years where the hometown team, I don't know if they give an extra nod to them because they are the hometown team, but they're always allowed to have more. So I don't know why they were so strict with it, just 2 on Vegas. But regardless, I don't know, I think there was a lot of snubs. The big one I look at is Trevor Zegras. We talked in length about him. But I just think you had to have him for pure fun reasons, make the event, bring eyes to the event. You do that by bringing a kid like that. So I think that would have been really cool to see.
Him and Hughes together would have been awesome.
One more?
Yeah. Oh, do you have another one to say?
Yeah. I'm going to leave the 2 guys that I was going to say. I was going to say Chuck and JT Miller because they've been fantastic, but no one gives a fuck about defense, the All-Star game. Let's go with the more fun one. The newest expansion team. I don't think it should have been Jordan Eberly. I think it should have been their 37 goal scorer, Jared Mccann. Just rub some salt in the wound. Too. He's on pace for 37 goals this season. He has the highest points per game on the Kraken.
Yeah,
and although he
probably get it.
I have no idea how
I
that
didn't even know that guy was still in the NHL.
Like he's like an average second liner. That's
an example of them Googling Seattle Kraken point totals. He currently sits at first.
Nobody watches the Kraken games besides the color commentator and the play-by-play.
That's so funny.
It's a pure example of literally, he leads the team in points. Sure. With like 24 points, and I think
he's a minus 17.
That's bad.
Like at least Jared McCann's a minus 11.
Yeah.
Like it's not better. Bad. It's not like good, but like fuck, at least it's better.
And less games. 15 goals in 33 games. That's
that's
actually good.
Like Mccann has 16 and 32. I mean, he's a defenseman, but still.
Yeah.
Production.
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, does anyone have any more games or any more names they want to kind of throw out there?
Not really. I don't think so.
I don't know. The Pacific kind of sucks.
Maybe I'm gonna throw in one. Quinn Hughes, just because I really wanted to see him. Hey. I don't even think Jack Hughes should have gotten there. Like he hasn't played enough games. I think Jesper Brown.
He's been.
But the fact that Jack Hughes is there, I think it would have been really cool to see Quinn Hughes play with him. And as a defenseman, Quinn Hughes, at least offensively, I'm not going to talk about defensively. Offensively, he's putting up, I believe he's at 30 points in like 37 games or something crazy like that right now. He's doing very well offensively, putting up a lot of points, and he's skilled enough that it would have been really cool to see him play there with his brother. I would have liked to see him. But I guess with that being said, if no one else has any names, going once, going twice, if anyone has any last thing they want to throw in there, that'll do it then.